Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Margaret, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Today I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial for how I do my makeup for game day. I'm a cheerleader, I'm a college cheerleader, and so I'm just gonna take you guys through my kind of like full glam game day look. Today's not my actual game day, tomorrow is my game day, but I wanted to do it the day before just so I wasn't like stressed out trying to film tomorrow and get ready and I don't think there's really much else to say. I think we should just jump right into it. I do start with my eyes. I know that's a controversial choice. I'm using a lot of like glitter and really sparkly stuff. And I just find that no matter what I do, I always kind of get fallout or I kind of like mess up my lines out here. So I just think it's easier to start with my eyes. It's more forgiving. I'm going to be using the Anastasia eye primer. I don't love this, but I have it. So I need to see like it like explodes out of the packaging. So I'm just trying to use it up. You literally need so little of this, like, and it's like, okay, that was too much, but that's what exploded out of the tube. What was I supposed to do? I'm struggling. I'm going to blend that out with my Real Techniques sponge. I usually do a combination of blending with the sponge and kind of like pressing it in with my finger. Just if there are certain areas that need extra blending. Today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry Palette. I always do a neutral look, so you can really use any neutral palette for this. This just happens to be the one that I'm using today. I'm going to take a Sigma E40. This is my biggest fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Twig right here. And I'm just going to start building out my crease. So I'm just dipping in a little bit, topping it off, and going for it. So I'm just doing windshield wiper motions, mixed with a little bit of, so you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but then you can also do little circles back and forth as well. When I'm doing my makeup, especially when I'm doing my eye makeup, I always make sure that I'm kind of looking around at it at different angles. Because if you stay at one angle, it might look okay when you're blending it this way, but then you start to move and you realize that it maybe looks unblended in other areas. So it's good to just always be kind of like adjusting your angle around just to make sure that everything is all good. All right, next I'm going to take my Scott Barnes 62. This is a much more tapered blending brush. And I'm gonna go into the shade Dystopian, which is like a dark brown. And I'm gonna do that one lower in the crease under the shade that I just put on. So this one I'm much more careful about with my placement. Because I really don't want it going all the way up into the shade I just put down. And I'm mostly concentrating it on the outer half of my eye and then just kind of bringing the excess in to the front half of my eye. So you can see it's like darker out here than it is out here. It's so weird seeing myself in something that's already so much darker than what I normally would do, because I probably haven't worn this intense of an eye since like pre-pandemic. So this is like really wild to see. All right, I'm gonna go back in with the first brush I was using and the first shade, and I'm gonna touch up kind of the top a little bit more so that to make sure that that's coming through the way that I want it to. Also, there's someone like moving in next door to me right now, and I really hope you can't hear. There's like lots of sounds. All right. All right, I'm gonna go in with a clean brush over kind of the center of where those two shades meet, just to really make sure that they're blended in the middle. I'm gonna take the black shade and I'm just gonna take a really, really small amount just on my finger, like so small, tiny, teeny tiny. And that's what I'm gonna use in the outer corner of my eye. I really rarely use black, so when I do, I make sure to be like really careful with it because it gets out of hand really quickly. So I have it patted on in the general area that I want it. So I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and start blending it out. Okay, so that is the base of the eye all done. Matte base. This is definitely not the part of doing my makeup that I would think I'm the best at, but it's not that deep. Makeup is just supposed to be fun, so I'm not worried. Next, I'm gonna take the shade Cyborg all over the lid. This is a really awesome, like taupey silver shade, and it's perfect because our colors are maroon and gray, so I love doing like a lot of silver, sparkly silver and like silver glitter in my looks for games. How cute! And I just take it on my finger. I always do my metallic and sparkly shades on my finger. I just always have an easier time picking it up than with a brush. I just like to do a second layer just to make sure that I really have the shine that I want. Okay, yay. I think that is gonna be perfect. Ding, ding, ding. Now is my least favorite part, which is eyeliner situation. I think I am gonna do a wing today just because why not? I'm literally gonna be washing this all off right after. So if it goes terribly, then it's fine. I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid liner. I got all of these things in a set, which is why I have so much Anastasia stuff going on right now. I really like this liner. It's like it's a brush tip applicator, and like the ink wells like in the lid. And I just find application is a lot easier than because I used to use felt tip liners. I just think this is a lot easier. I am not claiming to be very good at this. Okay, so far so good. That went okay. All right, this is the opposite eye. This is when it gets tricky. Did I do it? Oh my God, I think I did it. That actually did not go that poorly. Maybe it's just like when you don't have anywhere to be, your liner turns out like perfect. And then when you have a really important event to go to, it's like a hot mess. All right, and then I'm gonna take the Urban Decay 24-hour eyeliner. Mine is a little nub. This is the shade 0. They have multiple black shades, but this one's 0. And I'm gonna do that in my upper waterline. I just find that it always looks so much better when I'm wearing false lashes when I have my upper waterline done in black, because you just can't, it disguises the band more. I just think it's a cleaner look. Before I put on my lashes, I'm gonna do 1 coat of mascara. This is the Essence Volume Stylist 18-hour Lash Extension Mascara. This is my favorite mascara. And I just do 1 like really thin coat before I go in with my lashes. I am very lucky. My lashes are rather long and they're really curly, so I don't need to curl my lashes or anything before I put on my fake lashes. All right, for lashes, I'm gonna go in with the Ardell Demi Wispies. This is the only lash I ever wear. I just think they're perfect for my eyes. I don't trim them or anything, and they're subtle, but they're still like, give a little bit of oomph. Oh, and I'm also using Duo Lash Glue. Ding. Okay, here we go. Okay, I am very into how this looks. It always looks crazy until you get the lash on, and then it looks like perfect. Like even the difference between this eye and this eye, like the lash just makes all the difference. You're packing on the black shadow and you're like, where is this going? I look like a raccoon. I look like I've been punched in the face. And then the lash goes on and then you're like, glamorous, beautiful. Stunning. Okay, lash number 2, here we go. This is going like weirdly well. I'm so worried I'm gonna go to do my makeup tomorrow for the actual game and it's gonna be like crazy. But yeah, this is the eye. This is where we're at. It's literally amazing. Oh, let's start with the base. I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer. Y'all know how I feel about primer. I really don't know if it works, but I have this, so I'd like to use it so it doesn't stay in my life forever. This does make your face really sticky, so like I guess that's good. Sticky primer lasts longer, maybe. And then I'm going to be taking the Beauty Blender foundation, the Bounce Liquid Whip Longwear foundation in the shade 1.4 neutral. This is like my favorite foundation I've ever had. I got it because it's half off at Sephora. I hope and it's been half off like all year. I really hope they're not discontinuing it. You do have to be careful though when you're squirting it out. And you do it really slowly because I have had it like literally shoot out. And I was wearing something white and it got all over it. So that was cool. I'm gonna use 2 pumps probably, maybe 2.5. And I'm just gonna take my Real Technique sponge, do 1 little dip in and start going for it. Going in for another dip, going to this side of the face. I usually have to use a little more foundation like right here because this side gets more red than like right here. And then I have a little bit of excess. I just like to take that around kind of my chin, around my mouth, on my nose, because I really don't like when foundation like piles up in those spots. So I don't go in there specifically with like a dedicated section. I just kind of like pull over what I've placed on the side of my face, and then go in at the end with whatever I have left. Okay, next I'm going in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I'm in the shade 100 Ivory, again, pale. And I do a little bit on the inside and a little bit on the outside. And that's it. I like to blend my concealer with my finger. I just find that I get the best results when I do it. Sometimes I'll like go back and forth between my finger and my sponge. Especially to get the part where like I've gotten concealer on my nose, make sure that's all blended. But I just always find that I have the best results when I use my finger. I take the excess from the inside, like down the sides of my nose. I'm going to take my Fit Me pressed powder in 120 Classic Ivory, pale. So I have this Sonia Kashuk brush. Just going to swirl it around and get that under my eyes. There's going to be a lot more powder in this look than my normal makeup look. I'm obviously going out. Cheer is a very physical sport. I'm going to be sweating, dying, and also it's been over 100 degrees every day for the past 2 weeks where I am. So it's going to be warm tomorrow. All right, now for some more powdering, I'm going to go in with the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in Naturally Neutral. And this is where things get crazy. So I like to take this on my sponge and I go everywhere with this. Like I said, it's going to be really, really hot. So, and anyone who used this powder knows that this powder is the real deal. So I'm just taking it everywhere. Looking like Casper. Perfect. And now I'm going to finish up the eyes. So for my lower lash line, I like to do my second to darkest or darkest shade really close to my lower lash line, like all the way up there. And then I like to blend it out with the lightest shade that I used. So I'm going to take Dystopian, which, oh my God, I almost dropped it. So I'm going to take Dystopian, which is the dark brown that I used in my lower crease. And I have this It Cosmetics Am I going to do the thing? Am I about to do the thing? I am. I have this It Cosmetics brush. It's really stiff and it's perfect for doing this. Really lightly drag it across the lower lash line. And I also like to pull it out and up a little bit so that it kind of meets the shadow that I used on my lid. Shout out to weird makeup faces. Everyone does it. I'm sitting here like trying to put this on my eye. Shout out to your weird makeup faces that you make. Now I'm going to take this e.l.f. brush. I don't really know how to describe this brush. It kind of looks like a blending crease brush, but it's a little more flat and less of like a circle. And I like to take, so I'm going to take the lighter shade that I used, Twig, and I'm going to tap that in the top and a little bit on the side. Dust it off, because what I like to do with this is look up and then just like lightly brush this across the lower lash line. Oh, I stabbed myself. I stabbed myself in the eye. Oh my God, ow. Now I'm gonna do my mascara on my lower lash line. And I really like to take my mascara on my lower lash line side to side and kind of wiggle, less stroking and more side to side wiggling. Final touch on the eye, which is something very fun. I am going to be using the Stila Glitter and what are these called? Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in Diamond Dust. I literally have this shade for the sole purpose of using it for cheerleading. Again, maroon and gray. I don't really do a lot of silver looks. So I never use this. If I'm usually way more like brown glitter, gold glitter. I basically never use silver glitter. So I have it just for cheer. And I'm going to do this on my inner corner and then like drag it out, blend it out a little bit on my lower lash line, a little bit on my upper lash line. Like, that's just so fun. It's so fun. Honestly, I need some of this on my lid too. So I'm going to bring it on the very center portion of my lid. I lied. I didn't take it on the center. I took it on the front half of the lid and kind of connected it to the inner corner. I lied. Oh my God, this looks bomb. I'm so obsessed with how this is turning out. I'm so sad that I'm literally just going to be washing it off afterwards. Oh, who is she? Look at that. I don't really contour, but I am going to do a little bit of sculpting. I have Hoola bronzer in here. I have what's left of Hoola bronzer in here. And I'm just going to take that on this brush and just do like a tiny bit of sculpting. All right, now I'm going to go in with my bronzer. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer on this giant brush, this It Cosmetics brush. I love this brush because guess what? Look what I do. Just that. Just stamp it. Again, this is a moment where I really like to get it into the hair. Then I'm going to go into my Sigma Corda Rosa palette. I'm just going to do what I normally do. I'm going to do the matte brown with like a hit of the shimmery brown right on the apples. And keep it really high on the face. Bring it up to the brow. Y'all know how I feel about blush. Next, I'm going to take my highlight. This is the Becca Highlight in Moonstone. I had to get this. Once I learned that Becca was going to be closing, I was like, I cannot live with myself if I do not try a Becca highlight before Becca goes out of business. And I mean, it is beautiful. Let's see. Let's take a look. Like, it is gorgeous. And I got it half off last year during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, the one they did in the spring. And $20 is a much more reasonable price for this than $40 was. I always wanted it, but I just like could not justify the fact that it was $40. I can really load it up with the highlight because we're clearly really going for it today. I like to take like an angled eyeshadow brush and bring it down the bridge of my nose and right on the front of my nose. And I also take it under the brow bone on this brush. I also take it on, I mean, I haven't done my lips yet, but on my Cupid's bow. We're getting close. We're getting close. Time for the brows. I am using the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Micro Brow Pencil in, I don't know what shade. The shade is not on it. And I'm just going to use the spoolie to brush my brows all the way up. And then I'm going to fill in mostly around the outsides of the brow. So like I don't really use the pencil to fill in. I just use the pencil to shape around the outside. Because I honestly have pretty good brows. They just need a little bit of, you know. After I fill it in, I just go back through with the spoolie. Make sure there are no harsh lines going on. Sometimes blend some things out with my finger. Then I take my Benefit Gimme Brow. This is, I believe, in the shade 4.5. And I'm going to start that more towards the middle end of my brow. Back comb, don't want my hair in there. Back combing it through the brow gently, which is going to add volume. And it just looks so good. I love this product. It's expensive, but it really is worth it. Like, look at the difference between this and this. I mean, last thing for the brows is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setting Gel. This, you just pull through the brows and get them in the shape that you want them to stay, because this does what it describes. It sets them. So you just comb it through and shape them how you want. All right, now we're going to do lips. So I have the Milani True Instant Color something lip liner. I don't know. I've worn it all down. I don't really need to line because I'm going in with a liquid lipstick, but why not? Now I'm going to go in with the Pixie Matte Last Liquid Lip in Matte Beige. This is one of my all-time favorite lip colors. I honestly think mine's probably a little dry, but hopefully there's enough in it for us to make this work. I wish they had more shades in this because I love this formula, but most of the shades they have are like very pink, and I'm just not really like a pink lip person. I'm going to give that a minute to set before I put my lip gloss on. I'm going to go back into my Stila glitter and get it on the back of my hand. And then I am going to take my finger in the glitter and get that on the high points of my cheeks, because this is cheer. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be glittery. And this to me is I literally only do this for cheer. So like, this is kind of my fun, like cheer signature. And whenever I do it, it just makes me happy. Ba-bam! Ba-bam! I have two lip glosses from Buxom. One of them is in Blushing Margarita and one of them is in White Russian. I'm going to take Blushing Margarita everywhere, and then I'm going to do White Russian just in the center. Very, very, very last thing is just a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And then if it was actually game day, I would go in with a little bit of hairspray on my face. Don't tell anyone. Wouldn't recommend, not good for you, but if you really need your makeup to stay put, it does work. Just saying. Just saying. All right, that is the finished look. I love how it turned out. I think it looks so beautiful. I really hope I can recreate this exact look tomorrow, because I would love to wear this tomorrow at the game. Let me know if there are any other types of makeup tutorials or anything like that that you would want to see, or really any content you would want to see in general. Definitely let me know down below. I really hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!